The firefighter rescue team reacted instantly when they got the call. Now they were at the site of the accident and they ached from digging. Suddenly, however, they heard a noise from underground. But even though they seemed so close to finding the victim, would they be able to do so before the earth claimed her? In the summer of 2017, a story resurfaced online that perfectly demonstrates the absolute dedication of the fire service. The events that took place in that story actually happened in 2011, but the tale is just as revealing today as it was then. And it all began with a woman and her dog. To be more precise, it involved a woman named Kay Barnes and her terrier, Cookie, who were out in the Shropshire countryside in England when Cookie bolted off. It's something many a dog owner will be familiar with. The canine's hunting instincts had compelled her to follow the trail of a rabbit, and there was no stopping her doing so. Terriers are relatively small dogs, and their diminutive size is no accident, considering the breed's intended role. These dogs were once used in England as hunting hounds, encouraged to pursue and kill small animals and household pests. In other words, their prey were animals like foxes, rats, and rabbits. And the breed's smaller stature makes the terrier perfect for chasing its quarry into underground dens and burrows. So it's no surprise that Cookie's instinct was to launch after the rabbit she had her eyes on. Indeed, she followed her nose and her prey right into its escape tunnel. But Cookie was chasing a rather crafty creature, and although the rabbit was no Bugs Bunny, there were unintended consequences to her hunt. The warren used by the rabbit was unstable, and so as Cookie pushed forward after her prey, the tunnel began to cave in around her. Understandably, Cookie's human was distraught and did everything she could to free her best friend from the landslide. Barnes's effort proved futile, however. Cookie was buried too deep underground for her to reach, and so in her desperation, Barnes called the fire department. Barnes' pleas were answered by a rescue crew from Shropshire's Market Drayton fire station. Under the circumstances, they immediately headed out to the frantic woman's location to assist Cookie, and as they sped to the scene, all Barnes could do was hope it wasn't too late. What's more, and although the fire crew arrived promptly, the search for Cookie was going to be a difficult one. As a result of the warren collapse, there was no sign of the entrance, and if the dog was making any noise at all, the layers of earth on top of her must have been masking it. But the fire service arrived expecting a search, and they came prepared. In fact, not only were they equipped with shovels, but they were also packing something a little more high-tech. Specifically, the rescue team had brought listening and infrared imaging equipment to help rescue the missing pooch. And the technology proved very useful indeed. John Dasgupta, area manager of Shropshire's Fire and Rescue Service at the time, later described their tactics in a post on the service's website. They used listening equipment to locate her before digging in with spades, he said in June 2011. Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story. Actually, the Shropshire Fire Department has explained that the equipment is more commonly employed in building collapse emergencies. The technology can detect buried victims in situations not too dissimilar to Cookie's, and it certainly helped with finding the terrier too, allowing the firefighters to focus their efforts as a result. So after hours of tireless digging, the fire service team managed to break into the remnants of the warren. In the rescue video, one of the firefighters can be heard yelling out Cookie's name to lure her to the exit, and yet still there was no sign of the dog. However, one of the firefighters then had an idea. On the advice of the rescuers, Barnes herself approached the hole and called out to her fur baby. Suddenly, she was rewarded by a little yipping noise. The team had located Cookie. All that remained to do now was to get her out. It seemed as though Cookie made her way to near where her human was calling from, and after a little more digging, the hole opened and the firefighters were able to reach inside. Furthermore, they managed to get hold of Cookie and pull her out of the collapsed warren and back to safety. The Shropshire firefighters went above and beyond the call of duty for the little dog, as Dasgupta explained. 10 of our firefighters spent more than 3 hours of backbreaking work digging out Cookie, he said. However, it was no doubt worth it just to see Barnes reunited with her canine companion. But their service to Cookie didn't end there. One of the rescuers even filled up a container of water for the thirsty pooch. And naturally, Barnes was certainly relieved, not to mention incredibly grateful to the fire crew, that her pet had emerged alive. Cookie seemed to be appreciative as well, as all of the team were rewarded with affection from the happy dog. The firefighters were given recognition for their work from a couple of other media sources too. For example, the BBC TV series Real Rescues heard about Cookie's story and decided to run a feature on it. In addition, the rescue team received another surprise accolade. That is to say, they were voted by the public as finalists at the 2011 Dogs Trust Honors Awards. The spokesperson for the trust said, "I know it was a very close call, and there's no denying that their actions were truly heroic. They certainly are dogs' best friends in our eyes." The firefighters showed that they were more than just dogs' best friends when they rescued Cookie, though. They proved themselves to be heroes. Indeed, they went above and beyond the call of duty to save the life of a living creature when she needed them the most. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.